I'm finishing up a workout today, and I thought it'd be fun to share kind of like a real world moment. Is even though I am a trainer, nutritionist, whatever the heck you'd call me, I love to work out. It doesn't mean that I'm motivated for that every day, all the time. I started lifting weights when I was 16. I'm 42. The most amount of time I've ever taken off consecutively has been a Monday to a Monday. So it's like a week, and only twice in my entire 26-year lifting career. So I don't struggle with consistency, but there are days I don't feel traditionally what we call motivated. And today you can see I'm kind of in lazy clothes. And this leads into one of the things I'll do to get myself into my workouts on days when motivation is low. Right now, I'm doing a low-calorie diet, so I have low energy all day, and that really crushes motivation. So I have to make sure that sleep quality is really good, and I usually try to work out early in the day before I get too fatigued. And then I also do rely on caffeine. So those are a couple tricks. But the reason why I'm in lazy clothes is one of the concepts I'll remind myself of when I'm low in motivation is to remove the friction. One of the things that becomes friction for me, believe it or not, is sometimes when I want to work out, I will often make videos, but I don't want to wear like the typical black shirt that I wear, colorful shorts, put on shoes. So today I just have sandals on. So one of the ways I remove friction is to just stay in my lazy clothes and get my workout going. Now, what I'll do is while I'm yapping, I'll show you around the gym a little bit too. But this is our home gym. We got a lot of really cool, fun stuff. And another thing I'll do is sometimes I'll walk out of my office door, which is behind the seated leg curl, and just look around the gym and be like, dude, there was a time in your life this was a dream and you probably never thought you'd get there. But this is what you have now in your home, so you want to honor that dream. So that's one thing I'll do, is I'll motivate myself by just reminding myself how freaking awesome it is to have a home gym like this. Another trick I do right here is using my laptop. I typically like to listen to podcasts while I'm working out. When I'm in commercial gyms, I'll have headphones. When I'm here at home, I just use my laptop. And what I'll do is I'll pick the video and I'll actually start the video in my office. And hearing the sound of the podcast, getting into the topics, that kind of motivates me and gets me moving as well. The other thing I'll do is when I'm looking around the gym, I'll pick something small to start with. Like today I was doing some single arm seated shrugs, which I really like from upper back. And then I was doing some shrugs with a Smith machine, but these weird angled grips and high rep pump. So I pick things that are relatively easy. Another thing I'll pick is calf raises on our hack squat. So that's something I can get going into, and it's not like an intimidating start. So I think that's another thing too, is starting with something that doesn't feel intimidating. So I'll pick an exercise, or I'll use my walking treadmill that I have in my office. I have a motorized desk, and I'll get that elevated, get walking, and I'll tell myself, hey, let's just walk for 15 minutes, get some movement, and you'll feel better, and then all of a sudden we can get into our workout. But that's something I use for myself when I'm low in motivation, is the phrase, remove the friction. What's holding me back? I've even gone as far as going into my bathroom that I have down here and cleaning up, like shaving a little bit, shaving my head, and just kind of getting myself more presentable if I were to film videos. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, you already looked the part, you're getting ready for it, and it kind of kicks you into gear. So those are some tips that I use and what I recommend with clients. Usually for clients, we pick the specific things for them. Might be, if you typically go to work out after work, take your gym clothes with you, so that way you don't have to stop by the home. I'll even have people put on their gym shoes and then go do things around the house. That sounds goofy as heck, but it gets them in that mode. So whatever is your friction, try to find a way around that. Try to reduce that friction on days you feel low motivation, and just start with anything. If you hear about it, I was starting with just like lazy movements, staying in lazy clothes, maybe just walking for a little bit. Just start with something small that is, just enough to get inertia, enough to get some momentum started. Okay, enough of me yapping. Hopefully this was interesting or helpful. So even from somebody who's been lifting for 26 years and hasn't missed more than a week, I still struggle with motivation some days. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just find your way through it. Okay, if you need anything, let me know. Thanks for watching.